Warning, this show contains adult language, so viewer and listener discretion is advised. Welcome to another edition of Up and In It. I'm your host, Adrian Babishoff, and if you're new here, welcome as well. And if you're wondering what this show is about, it's entirely dedicated to improving quality of life for both people and planet through liberation and independence, moving it from surviving to thriving and living life raw. Background noise is my F-350 7.3 liter 96 pickup truck, which is completely paid for. And that's the background noise. Whenever we're not on our work commute, we are able to stationary record. We still do it in my mobile studio, my truck, making the best of what I have. Today's episode 200 is the extension of episode 199 of what is the rat race. And I want to continue on here because our 15 minutes got chewed up very quickly. I got very passionate about this thing. Episode 200 here, and we left off with what I would do with the cloud nets. You guys see how the rat race keeps us from thinking, and that's what I have next to my notes. What I didn't get to say in 199 was your mental programming, which comes from public education, a lot of various different things. So we were in that show talking about how I would monetize a cloud net system, which actually brings water to the poor people. I think it was in Italy and in Chile, places like that, Chile, South America. And we're just talking about how we could monetize this cloud net that collects rainwater. The problem is there's not enough funding for people to do studies to make it even better. So what I promoted, what I would say, which I didn't, if I was, like I said, a dictator of love and greatness, I'd get money from all these little poor countries and put whatever they can, get funding for it, and we'd get a engineer or somebody like me in there to start doing variations of different forms of the cloud nets. And once we collected enough water, which the people who invested in this would automatically, you'd keep getting water. You'd have to invest some money though, but we'd make this thing to where it would do maybe double or quadruple of what you're invested in. Once we had it down, we could patent that, and we could also start selling this to other countries and other places. And what we would do is we would take the excess money and we'd help out very, very poor countries. That would in turn take our business from being poor, the poor countries, showing that we're helping, that we have big hearts, that we're true human beings. We human up, as the show implies. And other people look at that and say, what a great person Adrian is, right? Look at that. He's giving for free. And it's a tax write-off. And I'm helping these people, and I'm promoting myself to get people to fund me to continue on my work to do even more, right? So now we can actually help develop beyond things like with this small village. So what we're talking about on that, if I explained all that correctly, is getting a mindset out of the rat race. The rat race has got you pinned, right? And this is mental programming. I think that comes from shows. I think the biggest problem with many people is that they're focused on what TV tells them. Well, I think now it's what the internet tells them. We're watching these game shows, or we used to watch game shows. I don't even know I don't watch TV, so I don't even know anymore. But we're watching these sitcoms, and we're watching these comedy shows and stuff. Which comedy hits on a lot of hard points of life, right? When you really think about it, it's funny, but a lot of it's like kind of ugly, but it's funny because we can relate to it. We're trying to make fun of it. We don't want to take life too serious. That's what we try to do on the show. Put some funnies every once in a while in there. But what happens is I think a lot of people start to think that this is the way life is. We watch Fast and the Furious, You can go flip a car and fucking walk right out of it. About 9 times out of 10, you don't. You fucking die, or you're mangled or handicapped for life, I want to be that fucking good-looking guy or that girl. And people don't understand, the rat race doesn't understand that these actresses and actors and models and stuff like that are on a regimen. It's like they're pretty much starving their fucking bodies to death to look really fucking good, right? Not all people, but for the majority of people, if they want to take a good movie shot or something, they've got to fucking exercise. They get professional trainers, and I mean, they really work their asses off. So it's not like these people are walking around like this their entire life. Who wants to live their entire life just eating asparagus, and running on a treadmill fucking 24/7? Not in my book. I wouldn't really want to live that life. I'd like looking like that, but I know that it's impossible. So we're in love with the idea and the dream, but not the reality. And that's the bad part about mental programming, is we got a lot of these rich people, these millionaires. And I'm sure that's where most of people like to follow. They don't want to follow some loser thousandaire like me, right? driving an old 96 F3 pickup truck, right? I'm not doing having chicks laying around my fucking truck, you know? They're not welcome. If you want to, I don't know. Yeah, they'd be welcome, but you'd have to be funny, and you'd have to be cool, and not all about your tits and ass and what you fucking look like, and you know, and be cool to ride in a 96 old ass ugly truck, right? With an old ass wrinkly fucking dude. Now I'm getting creepy. I better stop that. Yeah, let's stop that. But yeah, everybody's not everybody, but the majority of people, they're being fooled, and we're not seeing what the reality is of what a lot of people, in contrast to the movie stars looking good, a lot of what these billionaires or successful people had to do. Some of them, how many people did you have to fuck over to actually make that money? How many people are you how many businesses are you putting in the ground? Are you killing to stay afloat? How many throat slittings do you have to do a day to stay alive? Right? That's no way to fucking live. We want sustainable. We want resiliency. Not this fucking bullshit, hidden fucking things that we have going around us. It's a dream, guys. The rat race is a fucking dream. It's something, we're here because we want to be, not because we have to be. I explained in yesterday's episode, 199, how we can get the fuck out of it. And we're going to continue to talk about a few things like that. But it's not real. We're here by choice. And a lot of these things, these mental programmings, I think, is kind of hard, I think, for people to think about because they've never heard maybe like some of the things that I suggest. I mean, when I first started I call this the alternative lifestyle design. What are the alternatives to this whole thing? Which I think is my next note. Yeah. So what are the alternatives? I had to sit and look at things and go, how can I do this different? If it's not working, if the rat race sucks, if everything and everybody sucks, fuck the government and everything, what do we replace it with? So that's been my problem. Who's out there doing shit that's actually working? There's different parts. A lot of things that are working for some people doesn't work for others. So including myself. So I had to go and handpick hours and hours instead of watching those stupid ass shows, you know, the models and movies and stuff. I would sit and study such things as permaculture. What can I get off the land? What can I get off the land and in turn give to the land so I have something that's resilient, sustainable, that keeps going forth. It's a symbiotic relationship. Now, we want to talk business and money and all of these things and success. It is far more successful, don't you think, to invest something into whatever it is, the earth, a bank, buying real estate, and then having something that you nurture and then it nurtures you back, but not just once or twice. This keeps going. It's a symbiotic relationship. The more you nurture it, the more it nurtures you. This is perpetual motion. This is perpetual energy. This is things that keep coming. And if we set forth, if we look at the strategies of business and the way people treat each other, if you came out and you did these sort of things, say like I helped those poor people, you know, the countries who didn't have money for a cloud net, and they're wanting drinking water bad, and I gave that to them, that would make me look really fucking good. There'd be a lot of people that would respect me, right? They'd be more than happy to do business with me. So when we change the perspective of what these fake fucking businesses and what these business models have to do, they have to go kill something. They have to destroy something or rape something like the land. We have to go and plow it all up, spray it with poisons, get what we want, and not even think about the land. Whereas if I came and nurtured and put sprayed only natural things such as neem and castile soaps, and planted large varieties and interplanted trees and did things so that in the years to come it just keeps giving better and better and better. And I think that's the nurturing relationships that we'd have with people. People would respect me so much that doing business with them, it would just be fucking like shooting fish in a barrel. It's kind of a weird one to put with it, isn't it? I don't even know where I just say the shit that comes off the top of my head sometimes. But you realize the power that I would hold, and to me, I wouldn't even really give a shit about the power. I'd be looking, what can we do more? You know? So that's the strategies that I look at that we need to do to get out of the rat race. Because no matter where we go, it's not going to get better in another place just because we simply moved. We're carrying in this mindset. We're carrying in this mental programming that we need to ditch. And we need to reinvent life into a way that does work for us. And just that example that I gave you, if we can look at all things that way, excuse me, I need to take a sip of water. I feel like I'm hair in my throat. If we can look at all things this way as in a symbiotic relationship, can you imagine the amount of the ROI, how many things that were liabilities start turning into assets, right? Just in your own home, you would start to create food, you would start to create energy, you would start to create water with your cloud nets. You would actually form that business where that business would start growing almost all by itself. That's the way that we get out of the rat race. That's the way we change I believe, our universe. That's the way we change the earth. That's the way we change the people. But it has to start. It comes from within. And we need some examples. And I hope that's what I look at in my life is I'd rather fucking die than live with the current systems that we have. And I will fight to the death, I guarantee you guys, to do something fucking different. I'm already doing things different. And my life, most of the time, feels absolutely fantastic. There's respect. There's respect from myself. I don't know if I get it from other people or not, but I'm not really interested in that. The way I feel is the amount of help that I've done for my planet Earth, for my future generations, for my children's children, and for the children and the future generations of people. The work that I do, that especially is recorded on the internet, is enough for me to walk around proudly and feel securely, because I believe it's when life is taken away from you at the end of your life, that's when everything would play like a movie. And that's the things that you feel. There's nothing that anybody can do to make you feel different. But I think that we're going to notice that the empires and the castles and all the money and everything that we've built is actually going to be left in the physical realm, the physical world. And now you're making your next voyage to the spiritual world. And whatever you did in that physical world is definitely going to reflect, no matter what you believe in spiritually, But just for yourself, if you can sit happy and say, wow, that was really good. In fact, every day, that's what I look at. You'll know that life is going great, that life is going really good, and that you're not part of the rat race when you can't wait to wake up and do more. When you have the thought that, what if I died today, in a car accident, or a plane just fucking landed on my truck and it just smashed the fuck out of me, everything blew up, big ass 757, bam, I'm here now, I'm gone. If I was out there and I looked, I would say, God, I wish I could have done more. When you have things ahead of you and those dreams and ideas that you want to get out into reality, and you're excited about stuff, and you feel good. That's the problem I have with the rat race, is a lot of people are after these millionaires, what they're doing, and you can see it by their interactions. They don't have a peaceful look on their face. Some of them look terrified. I think once you make $1 million, now you're terrified because you're afraid to lose it. Whereas when you didn't have it, it was like, oh, whatever, I ain't got nothing to lose, right? But having that feeling, I think, inside you, and the respect for yourself, I think, before respect from others, to be able to respect yourself. I still have even more notes on here to go through, but we're running out of time. I'm trying to keep these shows at 15 minutes because we're trying to produce them every 5 days here. I was trying to do 7, but I don't think I can keep up that momentum. I owe my daughters, my kids, my time. I owe myself. I need to start exercising more. I'm getting even fatter, right? Working so hard. But guys, that's the show. If you like it, if I gave you guys some value, I please would need your help. I want to try to monetize this show in the future. I know it's premature, but I've been at this since 2019. We're on episode 200 today, and I need help to get the show off the ground. I need subscribers and stuff like that. They're not even showing in the search engines. I'm not even really showing up. So if you guys could please do me a favor, subscribe. Give me a review. Give me a thumbs up, a middle finger, a thumbs down. I don't care. Message me. It's upandinitshow@gmail.com. The link's in the description below. Let me know how I'm doing out there for you guys. And I want to keep the show up. I want to do hour-long shows 5 days a week. I want to actually turn this thing into reality. So if you guys can help me out with that, please do so. Let me know what you guys think, too. If this fucking show sucks, I'll just quit, man. But yeah, we're going to try to finish out 2021 5 days a week until the end of the year and see where it goes. So if you guys like this sort of thing, it's Up and In It on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and anywhere where you can find the podcast. And as I always say, guys, go out there and have yourself a near-life experience. Don't lose your muchness. Carry on the fire. Human up. Live it, love it, own it, and bone it, my friends.